Hey everyone, this is Sonny Ahuja. In our previous video, we just saw how important it is to have a responsive website, a site that adapts to different screen sizes, different devices, and so forth. Now here's a problem. Not every business has a responsive website. Not every business can run out and maybe spend a few $1,000s to get a responsive website made, a brand new site made. So what those businesses can do is build a mobile website separately and integrate that with your previous website. Now, some of the previous or the old websites can be recoded into responsive design, but it may not look perfect. It may not look good. So what business in that situation can do is have a separate mobile site and then integrate that website with their main site. So when your visitors come to your website from, let's say, laptop or a desktop, they'll see the desktop version of it, the current version, the old version. But when they come to your site from a mobile device, then they'll see the new version of your site. They'll see the new mobile site. So here are a few things to keep in mind if you're going to get your site redesigned into a responsive design or a separate mobile site, which you can then integrate with your current website. See, here's a screenshot. So this is a traditional website here on the left-hand side. This is the mobile optimized design. So when a website, which is like this on a large screen, shows up in a mobile device, it changes. It adapts to the screen size. The menu bar changes, the font changes, and so forth. So here's what Google says about mobile websites. Mobile is changing the world. Today, everyone has smartphones with them, constantly communicating and looking for information. In many countries, the number of smartphones has surpassed the number of personal computers. Having a mobile-friendly website has become a critical part of having an online presence. If you haven't made your website mobile-friendly, you should. The majority of users coming to your site are likely to be using a mobile device. And then Google talks about how to take a mobile-friendly test for your website if you're not sure that your site is mobile-friendly or not. So here's the link, as you can see on the screen, which is where you can put your website domain name, your website's URL, and run a test. It's a free test, and see if the site is mobile friendly or not. If you're not able to write this entire URL, then what you can do is you can go to Google and you can search for mobile website test. And as you scroll down, the first organic result is Google itself. It says right here, mobile friendly test, Google Search Console. And when you click on it, this is where you can add your website's URL and see if your site is mobile friendly or not. Hey, you can even add URL of your competitors and see how their sites look in cell phones, in mobile devices, because you also want to make sure you know what they are doing. And so you can accordingly make changes to your site. So you can go here and test that. But as you start working on your new mobile website, you want to make sure it has an easy to read format, which means your visitors don't have to pinch, or they don't have to squint or zoom in or zoom out or any such thing they need to do in order to read the font on your website. If you visit some of the older sites, you'll see that in your mobile device you can't really read what it says. You'll have to squint, you'll have to zoom in, or you'll have to pinch the page in order for you to be able to read it. So you want to make sure that your site does not have that. People can easily read what they are looking at. They can easily read your blog posts. They can easily read about your business. They can easily read whatever it says on your different service and category pages. So you want to make sure the format that's being used on your site, which includes where the menu bar is, where the pictures are, the whole thing should be easy for people to scroll through, to read and understand. Next, you must use a font that is easy to read in mobile devices. See, end of the day, cell phone is a small screen. Remember that. It's not as big as a computer, as a laptop or a desktop, and so forth. Two, a lot of time people are reading your website, they're visiting your site in a rush from their cell phone. There might be an emergency on the other side, and they're trying to quickly find something. They're trying to quickly find the answers to their objections, or they're trying to find details about the services you provide, and so forth. So when you use an easy to read font on your website, on your mobile friendly site, it becomes easier for your users to read that. Maybe it's 3 in the morning, maybe it's dark, maybe a person can't find his glasses. You never know what's happening on the other side. So you want to keep all those things in mind when you build your mobile website. You want to make sure the navigation is easy, the navigation is simplified for your visitors, which means they can easily find whatever they are looking for. Now, if your main site has 100 different pages, you don't want to throw all of them on the menu bar of your mobile site. Create categories, and in those categories, you can add links to your blog post and other pages. But mainly on your main menu bar, you want to make sure you have links to your main pages, your main services, and so forth. So make it easy, make it simple for your prospect to use your website. And I highly recommend you visit your own website from your cell phone every now and then and check and navigate, go from one page to another page, try to read a post, try to watch a video, try to read about your own services, see if you can see the links easily and if you can click on them. You want to make sure that the design on your website is pleasing to the eye. You know, the colors that you are using, the background that is being used, the logo that is being used. It's all easy. It's all pleasing to the eye. Otherwise, people will leave your website, which will then create higher bounce rates. You also want to make sure that the buttons that are being used on your site are big enough for people to see. You know, maybe there's a button that says tap here to call. Maybe there's a button that says click here to reach us, to contact us, to fill out this form, or click here to watch this video, and so forth. You want to make sure that people can read and see those buttons. They are in big sizes, of course, not too small, and they can also be in different colors. Your buttons can be in different colors than the other parts of your website, so they stand out. You know, if there's a button that says read more, if there's a button that says visit our Facebook page, and so forth. So make sure those buttons, especially the ones where you have your phone number, so people can click on those buttons and call you directly, make sure they are easy to be found. They are big and they are in different colors. The images that you use on your mobile site should be optimized for mobile devices. In other words, one, they should fit properly in a mobile device, in the entire screen. Two, let's say if you have a picture from a job site, and in that picture you have maybe a large equipment, maybe a big commercial building, and in that building you have one of your technicians working in that building. Now, if you're watching that picture, if you're looking at that picture from a computer, it might look great. But can people really see all those details in a cell phone? What if their cell phone is not a large screen? You know, some of the new cell phones I know are really big, but then people are also using smaller cell phones, smaller size cell phones. So what about those phones? You want to make sure that people who are using the smaller phones can also see the details in the images. So you may have to have an image which is zoomed in, or you may have to have a different image in your mobile website versus your main site, or you may have to change all the images in your main site that also makes sense in mobile devices. This is something you'll have to work with your web guy. This is something you may have to do yourself, and once you can see that the images look perfect in mobile devices, then you get to keep them accordingly. End of the day, you have to remember, more than half the traffic, more than half of your prospects, that visit your website are using a mobile device, and that's only going to grow. More and more business will be generated from mobile devices. More and more visitors or people will visit your site from their cell phones. So that is the future. You want to make sure you invest time and maybe money into it to get better results. Because if your site ranks high in search engines, let's say you spend 6 months doing search engine optimization, and then you start getting a lot of traffic on your website, it starts to rank high. But the images are not optimized. People cannot navigate through your site. They can find the buttons that say, click here to call now, and so forth. Well, at that point, all that hard work you put in for 6 months will be pretty much wasted. So you want to make sure that people, when they come to your site, your prospects, your visitors, your previous clients, they like what they see, they can easily navigate, they can get to the contact us page, and then eventually get in touch with you. And I'll see you in the next video.